Last time we were sitting right here where you said Sarah had just walked in and she said, I want to work with you. What do I do? So
This is
how was casting of Circus decided was my question.
अरे ये क्वेश्चन नहीं पूछा था
ये अच्छा ये वाला क्वेश्चन अच्छा है.
None of them are the second choice.
Wow,
None of them in the whole film, in fact.
My mentor, Mr. Aditya Chopra, told me, जिस दिन रोहित शेट्टी तेरे को लीड रोल ऑफर करेगा ना, गुलाटी मार के पहुंच जाना वहां पे.
Which was the craziest day that you were shooting for Circus?
Every day. Not a single day was like a normal day. Every day was a crazy day.
Shooting with a certain Sanjay Mishra. Yeah. Those days are the craziest days.
Jackie, what I want to ask you is, some actors tell me that moving on from a film is like a breakup. Yes. Tell me, is it that, because you all will move on, some will be in touch, some will not. What is that like for an actor?
Nobody is moving on. Nobody is moving on. We're doing Cirkus 2.
Yes,
Simmba 2. We're doing Simmba 3.
There's no breakup. Yeah. One doesn't happen.
Ready?
Good.
3.
Bollywood Hungama, Rohit Khilnani with Team Circus. Hi everyone, this is the team of Circus and you are watching Bollywood Hungama.
Obviously, I don't need to do any introduction. Guys, firstly, from all of us at Bollywood Hungama, thank you so much for doing this, sitting together. This is one of those positive places where we journalists want to be and talk about your film. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Positive people, positive film, positive vibes only.
Yes.
Positive.
Right. And like you predicted some questions which he was asking before. So I'll hope I don't go in that space and there's nothing predictable. You can point out.
And not too unpredictable either.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can point out if I ask something like, "Ye to I knew was coming."
Yeah. It's those standard questions.
Yeah.
How is it working with this one?
So no, how's it working with? I want to first start by asking for you, what was the craziest day on the set? Which was the craziest day that you were shooting for Circus?
Every day. Not a single day was like a normal day. Every day was a crazy day. First of all, we all were going through the pandemic.
Okay.
There was COVID at its peak.
Oh.
And then I had this bunch of people with me, positive people, young people, and they are crazy bunch.
COVID protocol to बहुत भारी था यार. Because like boss was one of the first people to get a film back on the floors. After COVID. And all credit to him to have the fortitude to be like, no man, sure, it costs a few more crores, but we got to get back to work and do what we are here to do, and realizing that so many people's livelihoods depend on this. So to be that guy, that guy that we all know he is.
Right.
He took that initiative. We had strict protocols. But once we were on the set, man, we'd have this walkway and there were all these steam machines and we would take steam and stuff. It was like hectic protocol. Once we were inside, it was just a madhouse.
Right.
Personally, for me, the craziest days was any day that you happen to be shooting with a certain Sanjay Mishra. Those days are the craziest days. I remember them all so vividly. I wish I could narrate those instances.
One instance you can.
Well, I'll have to mouth the dialogues which I don't want to do. He's not even put his own punches in the trailer. So I'm not going to give it to Bollywood Hungama. Okay. But Sanjay ji is he's a very unique character. Personally, I can just, in the middle of the shot, I'm just there admiring what he's doing and he's free flowing, you just don't know what you're going to get in which take
What lines?
His English is wrong. His emphasis on words are wrong. His lines are wrong.
Lines are wrong.
But he's worked with him for 2 decades now. Okay, and it is fascinating to watch a director direct an actor in the way that Rohit Shetty directs Sanjay Mishra.
Wow.
It is unique.
It's a delight.
That itself is a parallel comedy film.
There should be tickets just to come and see this one.
You all don't know one incident. We were shooting for All the Best in Goa. And shot ऐसा है कि Sanjay Dutt is supposed to be his OS, but I was taking his close-up. So, camera इधर है. So, I was like, Sanjay bhaiya, आप turn करना. So, he was like, turn and react कि Sanjay Dutt is standing. So, that was his reaction. So, he's supposed to do this. So, what he did is, so I was like, उधर क्यों देख रहे हो? So, he shouted at me because he knows me from ages now. मतलब उधर क्या देख रहे हो? तूने वहाँ कैमरा रखा हुआ? So there was one camera lying there, second camera. There was no one. So he gave a reaction there. मतलब वहाँ कैमरा मैन नहीं है, वहाँ फोकस पुलर नहीं है, वो कैमरा ढक के रखा हुआ है, उधर क्या रिएक्ट कर रहे? So that's Sanjay Mishra, and he has not changed.
He's not changed.
And he's an awesome human being.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
He's a beautiful human being. Like, such a great guy.
Right. Pooja, crazy. Give me one example. Craziest day on the sets of Circus.
I think for me it was the last song of the film, because there was this one really long shot where there, like, it's the longest, like,
Was it the
take.
Bhag?
Yeah, and you had to have like your mark, hit the mark before the camera reaches, because there are 2 Ranveers, and you have to, it's all in one shot, and it would be like we would be waiting just when the camera pans to us, we have to do our step, and if one person messed up, we had to start all over again.
And the pressure was
That
intense.
pressure.
It was exhausting for him, especially because he was dancing with both of us. He was almost like every frame.
But the vibe of the song is so good.
It's epic.
It's such a fun
It's
song.
epic.
I can't wait for it to come out. We had a new release today, Sun Zara by DSP.
Yeah,
Song that I personally love. A real earworm. And yeah, I mean,
It was
from Circus, I only have joyous memories.
And it's a strange thing my digital team is saying now. They're tracking the new song also, that it's like 90s is back, Bollywood is back, songs are back. I don't know what's happening.
But you
It's
had
It's
that
strange,
thought.
like it's quite strange.
Yeah.
You had that thought. He was like, I want a classic Hindi film pop love
So it's
ballad.
quite strange that all the comments are like
just saying
90s are back, Bollywood
we were
is back,
just-
songs are back. It's
In the
strange.
conference we were saying only, actually, I was watching and I was like, yeah, this song is like hardcore Hindi
just
commercial
said
film.
that.
जैसे 90s में वैसे गाने आते थे ना.
It's all over there.
Totally
I'm
vibe.
and
reading
it's made
comments
by
like,
DSP. That's so
I'm
interesting.
reading comments like, oh, it's an original.
Right. For you, craziest memory?
As Sir also said and Ranveer bhai also said, I think every day was like really crazy. But also the sequences where you have like 22 actors together, performing together and syncing in with each and everyone, reacting to everything. It was a madhouse. It was so much fun.
Right.
And you're in the same space, you're sharing the same screen, and the the improvisation with the Johnny sir, with Sanjay sir, with Sulbha ma'am, with everyone, like veterans, like legends. There's so much to learn and so much to explore. But that sequences where like everyone's like together was
tell him
insane.
tell him about that scene that you love. The crazy scene.
The Hunter one.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay.
That day.
Chabi laga di.
That day, so there's a sequence in the film that you'll see, which comes in first half, which it doesn't have much dialogues.
Okay.
It's to do a lot with the reactions and actions of whatever is taking place in that particular scenario. It's like how in Golmaal 3 there's a sequence which doesn't have dialogues, it's majorly actions, but that's like one of my personal favorite scenes of the film. It also won a lot of awards that year as the best scene, this thing. That particular day, it's set up inside like a house, like inside like that area, stuff like that. And there's Ranveer bhai, there's Siddharth Jadhav, absolutely immensely talented, mad guy with his infectious energy. There is, I don't know how to explain it, man. Like
It was that day that I knew, okay, I am working with the masters of comedy. That scene design, the treatment, the moments that came out of that setup. And it was like, it's my first time. And my first time approaching a pure slapstick comedy scene.
Yeah.
These scenes are like, when he designs them, it's like a play. So when it transpires, it's those moments of, I can't explain. It's that after cut is called, and everybody knows, all 200 people plus on the set know that this is pure gold. That collective feeling is inexplicable. It's indescribable.
Like even after the scene when we saw the rehearsals, when we did the scene after that, I remember we went back to our, like we were going towards the vans and all that towards the end of the day, and we were like, hey Siddharth, ek baar wo karke dikhana kaise kiya tha. We were like flipping on that again and again.
Right.
So it was absolute delight. It was insane.
Jackie, all the audience don't know any of this. They'll just come and watch the movie. Is it as much fun on the sets when you're there?
So actually, the thing is, this particular movie, yes. Like I mean, it's not, obviously it's not like that in every single film, right? But in this particular film, despite, when I first initially got the call to do the film, I did feel really nervous because I was like, okay, there's Rohit Shetty, and then it's like, it's a really big film, and there was this certain pressure. He's worked with the best of the best. He's a huge blockbuster director, and we were of course having this huge cast and crew. So I did feel the pressure, but the crazy thing is, like, once we all started working together and really kind of getting into, like shooting, every day, I'm not joking, Rohit, every single day was something, there was something to talk about, there was like some fun, there was either like, we would be painting, or we'd be pulling some pranks, or we'd be like just having so much fun doing the scenes and having memories from just like someone like Sanjay Mishra doing something really, really like funny. Everyone just had, it's like one of the first films I've ever worked on where like, even after pack up, no one was really going home.
For hours and hours we were on set.
Like on scenes, like I remember Mehboob Studio, the shot is there, so there's a stream of people going back and forth, carrying equipment, setting up the shot, the people involved in the setup. And there's this stream of people at work, and above them there's a shuttlecock going tuck. On both sides, there are people playing badminton while the shot is being set up. It was like a family spending quality time together.
And a whole lot of food.
Always some really like
Cakes,
yummy food.
ice
Food from
cream.
her home, cakes. Like,
Right. Rohit, you've made films for so many years. So every actor we talk to, they want to work with you. Last time we were sitting right here where you said, Sarah had just walked in and she said, I want to work with you. What do I do? So
this is how we all feel.
How was casting of Circus decided was my question.
Yes, that's a good question. I want to know. Why did you pick us?
Actually,
ये question नहीं पूछा था. Thanks.
See,
understand. Chalo.
we had written a basic draft of this script in 2013. I'll tell you what.
Okay.
And then we made Suryavanshi, and then pandemic happened. And then I was like, I can't sit at home, or I'm like a fighter. I'll face things. So it's like pandemic है सब है, but अब कब तक बैठेंगे? Suryavanshi, we didn't know the fate of Suryavanshi.
Right.
And I still remember March where everything was shut down. April, I called my team on phone and I was like, we'll face it, whatever happens. Let's start working. And we started scripting the script again. I think April end or May, I called him कि एक film में हम लोग कर रहे हैं. जैसे ही सब खुलेगा, we'll do a film. He didn't hear the script. He said, okay. मैं ये dates हैं and we'll start the film. We wrote the whole script. And then obviously I gave him a basic narration and he was like, okay.
It was right here, precisely
Right here,
where you're sitting.
And then
I was, except that I was on the floor because I was laughing. Farhad bhai was here, boss is sitting there, the team is sitting around. I was rolling on the floor laughing like that.
And then obviously Varun's character, Varun, I had worked with him in Delhi and he was the first choice. Like, okay, let's cast Varun. Then came the girl who's playing his wife, and we were like, and me and Pooja had met twice or thrice before that, and we had discussed that we'll be working together. And I don't know, I said, okay, let's ask Pooja, let's see if she's free. And then Pooja came on board, and same way with Jackie. Like, I met Jackie a lot of times, and we discussed, okay, we'll work together. And so all were like, none of them are the second choice.
Wow,
none of them in the whole film, in fact.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think you will be in a position. You will get who you want.
No, sometimes it happens that dates clashes or something happens, but it was like everybody was at home. There was nothing, nobody was doing anything. And even my technicians, and I was like, hey, I don't know when Suryavanshi is going to release. I don't know what's going to happen. But till when are we going to sit? Because everybody was at home. So this one is for my technicians. I made the film for them.
Amazing, amazing. When 12 years in the industry, you are also at a position where you can choose your directors. You said yes on the phone. You said yes on the phone.
हम आपके आभारी हैं.
Got a bright future.
हम आपके आभारी हैं sir कि आपने मेरी film की.
You said yes on the phone. Is that the trust? Do you reach a point, or you just know that he will just do what he does, which we.
I had the same rapport with Ajay sir also. After one or two films, I think Singham script. The first Singham. He heard the script, like we had a 7 o'clock shift in Goa. He came from London at 10 o'clock in the night. He did his haircut and all for the cop, did his dress trial. Around 10:30, 11 or 12ish, we started the narration. We finished the narration at 2 in the morning for a 7 o'clock shift. At 2:30, he came to know what the film is.
Wow. No.
And that, since Golmaal days, after Golmaal, he has never heard the script.
Wow.
And same goes with this guy now.
I would say the same. What is there to consider when you're working with the best in the business?
Right.
First of all, there's immense trust. You know, because our relationship has evolved beyond director actor now. He's like a brother to me, like a big brother to me. You know, it's not in just movie business engagement. It extends into one's life. You know, so there's immense trust. And trust of what? Trust that I know that, first of all, he's a master of his craft.
Right.
And it's not like he's resting on the laurels that he's earned in the decades that he's been working. He's still pushing himself. He knows that his next is going to be his best.
Right.
And his next is going to be his best. He's got that integrity, that purity in his approach towards his craft. And nobody works harder. And nobody is so crystal clear about what he's creating. I mean, like, you can bet your house on him, you know. And so why wouldn't I? It took me like seconds. I remember it was in the middle of the afternoon, middle of the lockdown. I got a call. I was on the treadmill. I answered the phone. Acha sun, एक पिक्चर है करेगा हाँ बॉस करेंगे that was it. It was like 3 seconds.
Right. Super. Don't answer phones on treadmills, firstly. You know, where were you when you got this? What was your reaction? What is an actor's reaction? I want to know, when you get this kind of an offer, can you that day go out and tell people? What was your day like?
You can't. You can't go out and tell people.
Who can you tell?
Nothing is final until it's final. Until it releases.
Where were you and what was
but,
the cards closed.
Yeah.
I mean, I was at home and I actually missed the call. So sir called on my old number. Okay, and when I saw my phone, I was like, it's a Rohit Shetty director. Like, I'd saved his image. And I'm like, Mom, Rohit sir is calling. So she was like, must be, to call him back. So I was like, okay, so I called him and he told me, and I was like so excited because it's like you have this list as an actor, these are the directors you want to work with, and Rohit sir was on that list. So I was like, I didn't even ask him anything. When he told me, I just started shrieking at like the top of my voice. I was like, oh my god, amazing, yes, of course. So he's like, dates hai, and I'm like, so don't worry, free kar denge dates ko. And then after that, he was like, at the end of the conversation, like, oh, by the way, like, Ranveer is the actor in the film. And I was like, woo! I mean, I didn't even think of me, like, you know, to ask, like, what is the film, what's the script, role, kitna, nothing. It was just blind faith, you know. And a fan, you're a fan. You want to just be part of certain films, you know. So, very excited.
Right.
I just want to add to that. My mentor, Mr. Aditya Chopra, told me one very critical insight. जिस दिन रोहित शेट्टी तेरे को लीड रोल ऑफर करेगा ना, गुलाटी मार के पहुंच जाना वहां पे. And I'd also
So
like to
sweet,
add
yeah.
that in my initial years, I had a small picture of Bhai on my bulletin board in my room.
Oh, wow.
And I manifested
Super. That's how
working
it
with
works.
him, and it actually happened. Look,
Yeah,
3 films
same.
now, and now the 4th.
तो फर्स्ट टाइम गुलाटी मारी आपने?
अरे ऐसे आपने चिंग्स का ऐड नहीं देखा कितना गुलाटी मारा, वही तो मेरा ऑडिशन था। मैं जब भी गया रामोजी हैदराबाद यही सोच के गया, ऐसा काम करूंगा कभी तो ये आदमी मेरे बारे में सोचेगा। And then we were dubbing for that ad in Yash Raj Studios. He came into the booth. He was like, shut off the mic, I want to talk to him for a couple of minutes. We sat on the floor and he was like, bro, I've got this idea. I was like,
Oh my
be
God.
cool bro, be cool। अंदर ही अंदर मतलब
I would have
कहाँ से
died.
लड्डू फूट रहे हैं, लेकिन मैं very sincerely,
Simmba.
sounds great, फाट दीवानी हो रही है अंदर।
Similar reactions I'm expecting, but where were you and where you got the call?
I was at home. I
Okay.
was at home. Me and my mom. We were just सुबह 11:30 बजे की बात है. Still remember the date. तो मैं और मम्मी बैठे हुए थे, खाना खा रहे थे, ऐसे मतलब पराठे खा रहे थे और चाय पी रहे थे, बात कर रहे थे। तो सर का फोन आया, तो आई वाज गॉट वेरी एक्साइटेड। तो मैं बाहर के बात करने के सर से बात हुई, कह रहे बेटा ऐसे ऐसे करके ये कैसे है फैमिली का, ये वाज अ प्रिसाइज 2.5-3 minute conversation। एंड सर ने कहा ऐसे ऐसे करके। आई केम बैक एंड आई टोल्ड मॉम, मम्मा ऐसे ऐसे रोहित सर का फोन आया था एंड ही सेड कि ऐसे ऐसे करके फिल्म है एंड मैंने सोचा है एंड यही ऐसे ऐसे करके करेंगे। इट वाज सच अ ब्यूटीफुल moment for me. I still till date, as I had that call, I clicked a screenshot of that call, like after the call, as a memory, because that moment was very special for me. And there are a lot of times, कई बारी होता है ना कि आप बोलते नहीं है, लेकिन a lot is spoken in silence.
Right.
So that moment happened between me and my mother.
So sweet.
We were just very happy and all that, and then. Nothing.
I have to say that my second number, which he called on the old number, I have still kept the number because I'm like, Rohit Shetty ka phone aaya tak pata nahi, like, you know, like who's calling you because they still have your old number. Like I would have missed the call if I had shut that phone completely, you know. So I'm like, I'm just keeping it because it seems like a good one to
But
keep.
it was such a surreal moment for all of us because once the first time I remember, so we all when we met at Mehboob for like a combined like a narration meeting kind of a thing कि मिलेंगे सारे पूरी cast से कुछ है। I'm not joking, रोहित भाई, the entire vibe was such amazing, ऐसी positive
That's his,
vibe थी ना। And when it comes at Rohit Shetty and team, it is Rohit Shetty and team, which is like Rohit Shetty and family. It actually is like the family making something together, and it's a blessing to be a part of the family and enjoy that everyday process.
Right.
Like even when Dilwale time, we used to play games, like the entire team, like you know, I know them like since like 5 years, and we had that bond and everything. So coming back home to that and just reliving everything and every day, and especially after what we kind of went through, like everyone in
during the
totality and
pandemic.
all that, there was just happiness. And that excitement of doing it, and then it was just a beautiful feeling.
And I feel like that's very important to him, and he cultivates that. And he won't have it any other way because very very talented creative people usually are overtly receptive to energies and vibrations. So when he selects his people, whether it's cast or crew, he is selecting them recognizing that they have purity in intent, that they're people with integrity, with sincerity, and good, positive people. And then when you collect 100, 200 of them and put them together, then and everybody's working with such joy. Like I can say this unequivocally. Movie to movie technicians, actors, they're like nomads, right? For 6 months, you're with one team, then you shift a team, and then you shift a team. This team has been working for decades. When people work for him, they're not working for a paycheck. They're not working because it's a job. They're working from a place in their heart, and that creates
And
the magic.
It's
That's
incredible,
what makes it
yeah.
special and different from other
that
places.
shows
Right.
it translates.
Sneha completes 13 years.
Wow.
Wow.
Vidhi completes 12 years. Like all my ADs are from 13, 14 years.
Wow.
All my
Yeah.
production team also for that.
Oh,
New
nice.
guys have come in now, like new generation guys, but all are there
Yeah.
with me since my second film or first film.
I think it's
Absolutely
only one of the
inspiring.
few sets, at least in little experience or whatever I've done, I've never seen it happen. रोहित भाई शॉट किसी का भी हो खत्म होता था कोई वैन में नहीं जाता
है
कोई नहीं जाता कैसे बैठ के पीछे सर
And you will not have a bad apple.
yeah
There is not a
that's-
single
yeah.
person
That's-
who
Yeah.
carries that energy because he won't have it. He won't.
Yeah.
the
can't
apple
work.
only won't be there
Also,
I can't work like
Yeah.
that now. I can't.
FOMO hits so hard.
yeah.
Because if you go to your van, sorry, you may miss like something funny that happened on set. And then they'll come and be like, "Arey, pata hai kya hua? Ye hua." And I'm like, "Shit, bhai, kar do."
and at the same time with so much of fun that you're doing the discipline is so beautifully crafted so much मैं मजाक नहीं कर रहा भाई it's the only set that I've seen where there are 200-250 people and कोई भी silence नहीं चिल्लाता नहीं चिल्लाता शॉट के बीच में भी अगर हम हंसी मजाक कर रहे कुछ है जैसे ही सर मॉनिटर के पीछे गए everyone's back to their thing and all that मतलब होता ना silence
It's that word.
नहीं होता
Synergy. The team is in such
same,
synergy
और
that they're just creating.
I had an emotional scene and everybody was so like good that day, you know, like they didn't disturb, nobody was making noise, nobody was this, everyone just let me be, and like, you know, everyone, we both were like,
Right.
like chilled out, and like people were no one was like doing something funny or there was no comedy happening because they understood that the greater purpose
Even,
was
like this one we did with Simmba.
That day was pure magic. We were shooting in Mehboob studio. It
For
was
Simmba.
a very critical scene. It was like the pivotal scene of the film. Is where what happens hits Simmba so hard that he changes, his character changes. His,
Right.
The
you know,
interval point of
Yeah.
the interval point. Where his character is lying in bed on her deathbed, and Simmba enters at that point, and the doctor tells him that she's not going to make it. I remember I was psyching myself up to that day, in the days preceding, knowing what kind of layered emotions I'm going to have to render that day. When I entered that set, I'll never forget. I just went through that door, and once I was through that door, it not only felt like this is a real hospital. Everybody, from the junior artist to the ADs to boss to everybody, was already in that zone, in that mood, in that atmosphere. It really felt like even whether she was in bed, everything was as if, boy, this is happening for real. That feeling was already there, and it was amongst everyone. We entered, he had some shots planned, but it was so beautifully set up for that emotion to flow and for that movie magic to be created in that moment. We did one take, he was like, I don't know if I'm going to cut away from this.
Same.
That was it, one shot.
Even ours was one take which
One take, yeah.
scares me a lot. Okay, because I was like, okay, fine, done. And I'm like, but sir, there's just one take. That's so scary because I'm just like, what if, like, you know, at the edit suddenly I'm like, oh shit, we could have done. And I always feel like we can do better.
Right.
But sir was like, nahi, mil gaya. We've all felt it. So what more to do? And then after that, we were like, okay, fine, the shot's done. Then Rohit sir went, chalo abhi, we can lighten the mood.
We've been on the sets of Golmaal, we've come on the sets of so many of your films. How does one control this 800 people and get them on the same page? I'm not saying give out your secret to everyone, but the thing is,
because
before the actors are coming in for this emotional scene, are you briefing them properly that let's let them be?
See, what happens is it's like a family. Like if you have, like when you stay with your brother, mother, father, you know the attitude. Then you know that if there is an issue in the family, or if there is a time you need to be quiet, or this is the time you can have that leverage of, doing masti at home. Same goes with my team. They have been with me for years now, and our culture is like, I want even the vanity guy to know what scene we are shooting today. We do rehearsals a day in advance, where the whole team knows what the scene is and how to support the actor.
Yeah.
You can't be like for shooting a normal scene, but there is stress. You're giving the actors or the team stress. Okay, no, it's not right. No, we should do this. No, That doesn't work. At the end of the day, one Friday a film will release, either it will work or it will not work. What is important is the memories. You know, that's the more important. Like when I sit with my team, we chat, we just talk about our memories. You know, okay, in Chennai Express we did this, in Simmba we did that, in Cirkus, during Cirkus we did that. And that's more important than one Friday.
Yeah, so true, so inspiring. Jackie, what I want to ask you is, you know, some actors tell me that moving on from a film is like a breakup. Tell me, is it that, you know, because you all will move on, some will be in touch, some will not. What is that like for an actor?
Nobody is moving on with Circus 2,
Yes,
Simmba 2, with Singam 3.
There's no breakups. The question of moving on doesn't happen.
Rohit, I don't think you have a choice.
That's not happening.
Sorry.
राशन कार्ड है हमारा यहाँ का यार राहुल के
We're
साथ.
not even letting that thought. We're not entertaining
I
it at all.
apologize, wrong
बॉस
question.
के कैबिन में बैठे आगे जाके लेफ्ट मेरा कमरा इधर.
We don't.
Hi everyone, this is the team of Circus and you are watching Bollywood Hungama.